Everybody ready?
As soon as I can make this chair taller.
Okay, we'll give you,
Thank you.
okay. We'll call this public hearing of the Yuma Union High School District Number 70 to order. If you'll all rise, Mr. Lotta will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
Be glad to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may all be seated. We've done some improvements on the sound system. Kudos. Okay, this is a public hearing of the Yuma Union High School District Governing Board. This is the second public hearing on instructional time model for the flexible schedule and testing academic environment. Ms. Thompson.
Thank you, President Townsend, and good evening, Governing Board members and all others in attendance. As Mr. Townsend said, this is the second of two meetings that are required by House Bill, and we're going to turn it back over to the one who led us through the first one, and that's Associate Superintendent Brienza.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Today we're here essentially because House Bill 2862 requires us to have two public hearings prior to any recommendation being made to the Governing Board. So we're here today just to see if there's any questions regarding last month's presentation regarding instructional time model, which allows us to be flexible in our attendance and instruction. So just basically here, if anyone has any questions, concerns.
Are there any questions or concerns? We went over this last month. I see none. You just have been very thorough, Mr. Brienza.
You know, thank you. I was a little stressed out. No, but thank you.
We could make up some questions.
No, but I just want to let you know what the next steps will be then. I mean, feel free. I don't mean to say no to you, President Townsend, but yes, if you want to make up some questions, you
Says
may.
that to me. That's all right.
But face getting red a little bit. But what it comes down to, our next steps will be, there will be a recommendation in our board meeting following this one. And then we did receive information today from our state reporting team that if we do adopt a instructional time model, then next year we will not be required to have two public hearings to continue that every year. So just know next year we will not need to have two public hearings.
But we will have to have one.
We will have to have one, and then that could be followed with a recommendation to the board to have an instructional time model again for that year. And just this ADE is still very fuzzy on if it's actually has to be a public hearing or if it can be an item during a public meeting.
But there's a legislative session between now and then.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I felt like we went through all the questions last time, and it was really thorough, so thank you.
Okay, if there's, yes,
This will be item 6.5 on tonight's action items in our regularly scheduled Governing Board meeting.
Okay. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Kravitz, second by Ms. Mellon to adjourn the public hearing. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We will at 5:15 start our regular board meeting. 2 minutes. One minute. Are we ready? It's 5:15. We'll call this meeting of the Yuma Union High School District Number 70 Governing Board to order. Appreciate y'all coming tonight. We're going to dispense with the pledge in the moment of silence since we did that at our earlier meeting today. So we'll move on into board reports. Board members may have a discussion about conferences, visitation, legislation, special recognition, donations, etc. Does any board member have anything they would like to discuss or talk about? Ms. Mellon?
I would like to thank our legislators for lifting the spending limit, the aggregate spending limit, and so it's a fix for now. We need to come up with a long-term fix, but I appreciate I appreciate them doing that. So,
Mr. Gonzalez?
I just want to thank staff, Ms. Thompson and her staff for putting up together that retreat. I liked it so much. It was very productive. I wish we could do one every quarter. Just kidding.
Bite your tongue. Okay, anybody else? Okay, thank you. We'll move on. Next item is superintendent's report. Ms. Thompson, that's you.
Thank you, President Townsend, governing board members. We have quite a few things this evening. I gave you a little bit of popcorn because we do have some videos tonight and all wonderful celebrations. Before that, I'd like Mr. Brienza, Associate Superintendent, to just kind of give a brief overview of some of the things that we have over on the counter and what they're related to.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Over on the counter, we have displayed some options that we're looking for feedback on for future boundaries that will need to be changed because of a wonderful reason, which is the addition of Somerton High School in August 23-24. So what we've done thus far is we've had 3 public displays in 3 of our communities. We had one here in the boardroom in Yuma on February 22nd. We were in San Luis down at the Performing Arts Center on the 23rd, and then we were at the Somerton Cultural Center on the 24th. And we had 3 people show up total, all 3 nights, but we were still there for feedback. But we do have it online, and we received a lot of feedback online as well. So I would encourage people to either give feedback today or go online, and there is a form that you can fill out online. So we are looking for feedback. Those options are not the ones most likely that will be presented to the board in April as a recommendation to be adopted in the 23-24 school year. But we are gathering good feedback and appreciate the community and stakeholders who've given it thus far.
Thank you, Mr. Brienza. Next up, we have a recognition video. Normally, we invite our Teacher of the Year nominees to these meetings, and they were invited, but you know, the life is very busy right now, and I really appreciate Eric Patton, our Chief Communications Officer, and his two support crew, Christian and Leslie. And they have worked very hard to provide this video so that you could really see the teachers up front, close and personal, and hear from them. So thank you, Mr. Patton, and thank you to your team, and enjoy.
Our first teacher that we have that was nominated for Teacher of the Year is Christine Malinsky. She teaches Foundations of Math, Academic Instruction, and CTE Building Maintenance. She works with our special education student population, working with IEPs, helping our students receive the supports they need throughout the school day. And then she also has taken on CTE Building Maintenance this year to give students a whole other CTE program that they can be a part of here at YUHSD High School. Alyssa Lopez is our fantastic dance teacher. She has brought technology into the classroom. Students are able to utilize their phones, doing TikTok dances that could go viral. She really gets our cell block dancers, the club that she leads, out into the community for parades and different events. And students love to go to her class, they love to be active, and she really brings that kindness and enthusiasm that we love here at YUHSD. Our first year teacher of the year is Shalita Tepsing. Shalita has started our nursing program here at YUHSD High School. It's our first year with nursing. So she's had the pleasure of starting a whole new program here at YUHSD High School where students are able to get industry certifications in the field of nursing. We're developing a whole new facility that we're excited to open up, and she's been a part of that, integral part of that. So we have a full new nursing lab that's going to be ready to open soon.
Our three candidates were excellent choices for us this year. You know, we have Miss John, we have Val Pena, and we have Miss Peralta. And each of them have their own special characteristics that allowed them to get chosen this year. Miss John has done an extraordinary job in the history department for us, and she is our student leadership teacher, and she runs our Stuco department and has done an amazing job building that program over the last several years that she's been with us. Miss Pena, I mean, I don't know what you can say about Miss Pena. She is one of the brightest young teachers that have come through COFA in a long time. She's our AVID coordinator on campus. She teaches anatomy and physiology. All of our kids love her. She is just an outstanding teacher in the classroom. And then, you know, Miss Peralta, one of our new teachers, and I have to be honest, that might have been the toughest selection because I really believe that this last year we had one of our best crops of incoming teachers. So for her to kind of rise to the top of that was a great achievement for her. And, you know, I'm really happy that she was selected as our new teacher of the year. And I think she's a great representative, especially for those young teachers that we do have here.
We are extremely proud of our Teacher of the Year nominees here at Cibola High School, Mrs. Collins, Ms. Avila, and Mr. Holguin. All of them bring great qualities to the classroom. They are quality instructors, and really they all wear many hats. Ms. Collins, for example, she's our AVID site coordinator. She's been actively involved with standards-based grading, one of our primary initiatives here at Cibola this year. She's an assistant athletic director, girls golf coach. We couldn't be more proud of all the work that she's doing to not only be a contributor to our campus as a whole, but being an innovative instructor in her classroom. Miss Avila also wears many hats. She is a National Honor Society sponsor, a club sponsor. She teaches multiple preps. When you walk into her classroom, it's innovation, student engagement, all the things that you want to see in a great teacher. And Mr. Holguin, new to our campus as a first-year teacher, is teaching math. Students have had great things to say about him. His instructional leader has commented on the amazing things that he's doing in his classroom. Some of his classes are 40 to 50, but he doesn't bat an eye. He's positive and he's all about relationships. And I think that's one thing that sets all of our teachers apart, is that they are willing to go above and beyond to form those relationships with students, because that's what matters.
The nominee from Vista High School is Diego Moya. He's an economics teacher. He's also our student council advisor. He's been teaching at Vista for 6 years. It goes beyond just what he does in the classroom as an excellent teacher. Like he's instrumental in the entire culture of our school. Teaches want to listen to him, students want to listen to him, and he's really hardworking. He's here late at night, just thinking up ways to get kids engaged and get kids motivated.
So our group of teachers at San Luis High School are very caring, compassionate, and have really kind of built in some social emotional aspects in their teaching, and have just been on top of that incredible in terms of strategy delivery and motivating, encouraging, and engaging students. In general, the whole group have went above and beyond. They're part of different committees, they're part of working in the community, they lead their content team or their PLC, they're instructional leaders on campus, have led or delivered some professional development. Our new teacher has willingly accepted to go to different trainings and have to kind of learn more about the education and the teaching craft. And so all three in general just have been incredible and are kind of role models to look for other teachers aspiring to be, Teacher of the Year candidates.
It is my pleasure to introduce our first-year Teacher of the Year for this school year, Miss Tracy Lee North. Not the first time on our campus, though. She has been here and came through and got her teaching degree and was on our campus for 6 years prior to that. She believes in challenging her students every day. She'll ask them to get better in some way, not necessarily just with class, but try to do something good for somebody every time she can. Her energy is very positive, and she loves to help out with athletics after school. She has done some club sponsoring for us. Anything she touches, kids want to be in, and it's a wonderful thing to have her on our campus.
Miranda strives to stretch our students' learning, exercise their manners as freshmen that she has typically, and really engage their hearts. Best part about her instruction is she is sound. She has a background in middle school, and she really knows what it is to take a student from the middle school and make sure that they can get all the way through their high school years. She knows what that looks like as far as vertically and horizontally being able to make sure that kids are where they are with their English skills. And then she started this year with drama. She'd never taught drama before, has a passion for it, and she really engages kids' hearts, and she wants to see them succeed, and not just drama in front of the stage, but so many other places.
I am honored to introduce Ms. Margaret Julian as our Teacher of the Year nominee for Gila Ridge High School. Ms. Julian has been at Gila Ridge High School for approximately 4 years. She started as a long-term sub, and now she's fully in the classroom as an English teacher at Gila Ridge High School. She is a very fun teacher to work with. She brightens up the room when she walks into her classroom, and she connects with all of her students, not just academically, but also she's able to meet their social and emotional needs.
Again, thank you, Mr. Patton, and your team for all the work that went into that. This was a wonderful way to see them in their true element, right, in the classroom. And we look forward to what happens on the Teacher of the Year with the Yuma Education Foundation for that celebration. But I would just like to remind all of us that the true honor is being nominated by your own peers, by your students on your own campus. The rest of it is a great experience as well, and we're very fortunate to have a community that invests so much time in education, and that must be a really, really hard thing to judge. So thank you again for that opportunity. Next on our agenda are the student council reports, and we will invite Cibola High School student up to the podium. Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you guys for having me. My name is Ellie Evans. I'm from Cibola High School. I am in student council as well as FFA. And to just jump right into it. First, we have up our community service. Cibola Student Council got to volunteer at the Yuma Area Special Olympics on February 26th. We helped set up with and serve food and recognize the teams participating. Cibola Student Council was also recognized at the AASC State Convention with the Bronze Community Service Award for completing 25 hours of community service during the fall semester. Next, we have some outstanding accomplishments, and we had a lot in the month of February. First, with our FFA, we had an outstanding showing at our regional CDE competition. There was 4 first-place teams, 4 first-place individuals, 2 second-place teams, 4 second-place individuals, 3 third-place teams, and 4 third-place individuals. Next, we have the FBLA regional success. They had an incredible showing at their regional competition and took home 10 gold medals, 5 silver medals, and 5 bronze medals. Student Council also earned top honors at ASC State Convention on February 19th and was named Arizona Council of Outstanding Distinction. Our academic decathlon team once again qualified for the state tournament, and Cibola captured 7 gold medals, 3 silver medals, and 6 bronze medals at regional. Cibola also has 2 national merits finalists, which are Julia Whitson and Zarina Skara. And then we also have 4 girl golfers who have earned the Scholar Athlete title, which is Gwen Pereira, Sharon Garbugian, Hannah Gurney, all earned the first team academic All-State. And Kaya Cabrales also earned honorable mention for academic All-State. We have 8 Lady Raider basketball players who also earned region honor. 2 players were selected to the first team All-Region, and 2 players were selected to the second team All-Region, and 3 earned an honorable mention. Senior Mina Johnson was named the Region Player of the Year, and Coach Anthony Gregg was named the Region Coach of the Year. We are so proud of all of our Raiders. Next, we have some recognition. Cibola has so many outstanding staff and teachers, and I couldn't be here without them. This year, our Teacher of the Year candidates are Miss Collins, Miss Avila, and our first Teacher of the Year is Mr. Holguin. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Next, Taylor Ridge High School, please. Welcome.
I'm Jose Luis de la Torre. I am part of Student Council and FBLA. So we're going to start with staff and student recognition. Oh, okay, there you go. Our Teachers of the Year is Miss Julian, which is the English and Literature teacher. She is an amazing teacher. I had her my freshman year, and she would always brighten up the room and was always aware of all the students and would work with all the students in the classroom. Ms. Brenacker, she is also an English student teacher, and she's also the drama teacher. I've seen her drama plays and her teaching styles, and she's an amazing teacher. And the teacher of the first year is Miss Lee North. She's always in a sports. I always see her helping out with staff at sports and always see her around. I actually saw her today at sports. And we had Counselor Appreciation Week. It was in February. We provided snacks, and we made that poster for the counselors to show appreciation of everything they do in the school. And we have our academic decathlon, teams qualified for state tournament. We have Taylor Ketty with silver. In language and literature, we have Del Amazag with 4 silver and 4th and silver economics, essay, math, social studies. 3rd, bronze, math, science, and scholarship overall. And in varsity, we have Joe Davis with silver in math, Kim Garcia with 1st in silver, and Daniel Line 2nd in silver, essay, and science. There's a picture. Unfortunately, one had to leave for soccer that day, so she couldn't make it, so they photoshopped her in. we have the AME West Region Regioners. English is hard. Honor and bands. First, we have Jackson Oliveras, who plays the French horn, and Katie Youngs, which plays percussion. Up next, we have the FBLA virtual conference. First, we have me. I got first place in network design. Second, we have Georgina Chapman, which got third place in social media strategies. And third, we got Jack Webb, which got second place in future business leader. Now, Hawks Give Back. First, Student Council held the Project Starfish, which was January 26, 2022. And Project Starfish is to raise awareness of human sex trafficking. Yuma Territorial Marathon, Student Council volunteered at the marathon, which is a qualifier for the Boston Marathon, and hosted 40 full marathons, 185 marathons, half marathons, and 50 10K marathon runners. And then we had the blood drive, February 22nd. Of the 18 students who signed up, 11 were able to successfully donate blood, and that would go to saving 33 lives. Spring semester events. First, we have the NHS hosted the workshop preparing students for the SAT and the ACT, which was not fun to take. And then we FFA barbecue. They were amazing. They had an assembly line of students making the food, giving it out. We even had the fire truck go past there, and all these pictures are taken by me. The freshman forum, where upperclassmen from CT classes were presenting all the CT classes in front of the freshmen, so they could choose their CT classes in the future. We had nursing, engineering, business management, film and TV, welding, and ag. The talent show. We had amazing people going up and showing their talents. We had some beautiful singers. We even had Michael Jackson up there. His dance moves were amazing.
I don't see you there. No.
Yeah, right in the middle. Right there you go. And then upcoming events, we have our drama show, which is Our Town. And in Hilo Ridge, the FBLA is hosting the Powder Puff football, which is coming up soon. And Avid is hosting the Mr. and Mrs. Sox. Thank you for all your time and doing what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Vista High School.
Good afternoon, members of the board, Superintendent Thompson, and Associate Superintendents. My name is Angela Martinez, and I am a representative at Vista High School Student Council. To start off, I would like to talk about what's been going on at Vista. We would like to congratulate Gerardo Gastelum for second place in regionals for the cupcake decorating competition. Gerardo said it was great to be here and be around so many students with the same goals. It was fun to share our skills and compete. Congratulations, Gerardo, for leading the pack. Our Teacher of the Year nominee was Mr. Moya. He was nominated for Vista High's Teacher of the Year. He jokes around with students, which makes classes more fun. Even when he teaches, he makes it super fun. Congratulations, Mr. Moya, and we hope to see you held to the top as Teacher of the Year. With the help of community donors, the Yuma Health Department, and others, the Garden Club has started their first planting season with cilantro, bell peppers, and tomatoes, just to name a few. If you would like to see more of Vista's Garden Club, you can go to the YUHSD YouTube channel and view Vista High School's Garden Club and other club spotlights across the district. A student forum was held to discuss how to integrate student voice into the schedule. We gathered inputs from over 50 students as we discussed different variations and what we would like to see. We look forward to continue to build out the program with Vista staff. HOSA Mental Social Club is in the process of developing a caring closet for students. The caring closet is for students who may need resources for those within our school community. It will include hygiene products, non-perishable food, clothing, school supplies, and more. Thank you, HOSA, for taking this initiative to show that we run as a pack. If you're interested for more information or would like to make a donation, please contact Vista High School at 928-502-6800. That's all we have for you all. Thank you for howling with us today.
Thank you to our 3 schools this evening. We actually have a video from one of our newest schools, our newest school that isn't even built yet. So if you can turn yourself to the screen again, and maybe you still have some popcorn left, but we have a special video for you. And thank you again, Mr. Patton and your team.
Hi, I'm Camila Ruiz with SLH's News. And today we are joining Marlon Shelley with a special report on the progress of the Somerton High School. Let's check it out.
Hey guys! Reporting from SLH's News, I'm Marlo.
And I'm Asheli. Did you guys know about the new high school in our Yuma Union District? Well, right now, we're right here.
But in case you didn't know, we'll go over the process and progress of this new beginning.
Here we are with
Leslie Amaya.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and where you're from?
Yes, I'm the senior project engineer for the Somerton High School project. I'm working with the general contractor McCarthy, and I'm actually from San Luis.
Can you tell us a little bit more what's happening on site?
Yes, so right now there's going to be a total of 4 different buildings, and they're separated into building 100, 200, 300, and 400. And our scheduled workflow is going to be going through the 400 first, building it first, and then going to the 300 afterwards, and then from the 300 we shift on to building 100, and from building 100 we go on to building 200.
Can you explain to us the layout of the high school?
Yeah, these buildings over here will be the 100s and the 200s, where there will be various classrooms and CTUs. If you look all the way back there, that's where the future road will be built, and then we have a parking lot that will be over here, as well as over there, accompanied by the football field and softball field.
I'm here with a resident from Somerton and a worker of this project.
Hi, my name is Luis.
Luis, how do you think having a high school here in Somerton benefits the community?
Well, it benefits the community, the kids. I used to travel every single day to Koval. Now it's better for them.
What's the first step to creating this whole project?
There's a lot of steps to start this project. They really did a good job to sit down with Yuma Union, really sort out what were the pros of other high schools, what they wanted to see in this high school, and then also evaluate what they wanted to change in other high schools. So they put that all together and gotten a nice campus layout that is really fitting for what the school needs.
It's kind of hard to see the final project come through, but can you describe a little bit of how it will turn out?
Sure. Now, it may not look exactly like this, but this is darn close. It's going to have a metal feature. All the block will be exposed. Big windows across the front of it. This right here is the front admin area. This is what will face Jefferson that we're about to build. And then kind of the open space with this stuff. This is the cafeteria area, and this is the outdoor seating. This is one of your CTE outdoor areas. This opens up to some doors right here and some classrooms there. And then that's a good picture of the courtyard over here, of what the center landscape should be. So nice and open.
John, what's the goal of having a high school here in Somerton?
It's been a long time coming. It's been the talk of many conversations in the district, the state, the city. Everyone's been talking about a school in Somerton. The city's growing so fast, it's time they had their own high school. And it's definitely a landmark and will remain a landmark in Somerton for sure.
So there you have it. Yuma Union High School District is growing.
Thank you for watching. Until next time. Back to you, Camila.
Thank you, Marlona Shelley. We would like to give out a special thanks to Yuma Union High School District Board, our superintendent, Mrs. Thompson, and also a special thanks to Mr. Patton for all the support. This is Camila Ruiz with SLH's News.
Now that's media coverage. Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to share that this evening. And I hope you caught, special thanks to McCarthy for continuing to hire and involve former students and current students from Yuma Union High School District and throughout the county in this project. But that was truly wonderful. And next on my report, I would love to invite my friend and colleague that we may have worked together a minute, but Kim Adkins is here. She is currently an instructional coach at Yuma High School, formerly at Cibola as science teacher, San Luis High School, and just does an amazing amount of work with science. She actually shared some exciting information with me one day that she had discovered, and I asked her if she would present that to you. So this is not something that I conjured up. This is all Ms. Adkins. So thank you, Kim, for being here.
Thank you for letting me share. I work with Arizona Science Teachers Association, and through that work, I've been able to talk to science teachers around the state and also nationally through some conferences I've attended through the benefit of that virtual access this summer. And I kept hearing some of the things that they were struggling with in the state and the nation, and I kept thinking, well, we don't have that problem. We've already solved that problem. That's not an issue at the district I worked at. So I created an infographic because I think it's nice to celebrate the things we're doing right, and you guys are all a part of that, so thank you. So just a little background, 2012, the National Academy of Sciences published a framework for K-12 science education. So that's for the practices, cross-cutting concepts, and core ideas. And the purpose of that project was to report the best practices for teaching and learning sciences using evidence to support that. So in 2018, Arizona adopted new standards built around that framework. So not wholly on that, but built around that. And so some of the data comes from there. So the daily instructional time, this was right from that framework. So the framework and Arizona standards suggest 275 minutes per week of instruction. And Yuma Union High School goes above and beyond with 285 minutes a week. So we not only meet it, we go above that. In 2021, a publication came out. It's called Call for Action, Building Opportunity for the Future. It was put out by the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. And the purpose of this report was to discuss the current state of science education in the U.S. And they wanted to share their vision for a better, more equitable science education for our schools. Some of those inequalities included limited availability of core science courses with student populations having 80% or more of Latino, Black, or Indigenous populations. And let's see, so that would be, I guess the top three kind of all molded together. So as you can see, according to those 80%, 29% of those schools do not have access to biology courses, 42 do not have access to chemistry courses, and 59% do not have access to physics courses. As you all know, our population is, from my statistics I've gathered, are 85% Latino, Black, or Indigenous students. And all of the students at Yuma Union High School have access to biology, chemistry, and physics. Every campus has physics. That's a really big thing. There's been a lot of work to try to increase physics teachers, but the fact that every single campus has physics, I think is a big thing. Another statistic that was highlighted in the report was AP STEM courses that are offered in rural communities. And this one is the bottom one in purple. So nationally, 62% of seniors who live in rural areas have access to at least one AP STEM course. But at Yuma Union High School, all students have access because there's no, if they want that challenge, they can do that challenge. And it's not just one AP STEM course. We have AP Biology, AP Chem, AP Physics, AP Environmental. There's also AP Stats and AP Calc. I hope I'm not leaving out any other math. So I just want to thank you for putting students first and ensuring that science education at the Yuma Union High School District is a priority and it's equitable for all the students. And I also had some, I was able to get some data from SARSAF about from 2015 through 2022. We've had 171 projects entered over that, so that would be 7 years. And of those 171 projects, we've had 40% of those win grand awards, which is first through third, and 44% have won sponsors awards. And if you're not aware of SARSAF, I just found this out recently. They are, if they are not the largest every year, they're the second to the largest regional science fair in the nation. And so our students are not only competing, but they are doing well. And we've also had at least 4 teachers recognized for their work with their students in SARSAF. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for helping make science equitable and available for all in the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Behind all that work takes some really dedicated teachers. I have known Ms. Adkins and her colleagues to drive over to SARSAF, set it up, come back, then get the kids, then go back the next time after the contest to go pick up their projects. So we know Tucson area pretty well. And I just really thank all of them for all their work. It takes the adults to be able to offer those experiences to every student. Thank you. And finally, we did have ACT testing. We will be sharing that data with you later, but I just have to celebrate the fact that we were able to have every junior the opportunity to come in and take their ACT. That's something that we're able to offer at no charge for our students. And we had anywhere from 85% to 91% of our juniors on campus for the first go round, and the rest of the students are all coming in for makeup days. And the technology was just spot on. Thank you, Dean, and his team, but netbooks were not a problem. Kids, I think, what did Ms. Anderson, maybe 5 students at one of our campuses total that needed a different netbook. And that's unheard of. They're just so used to using those netbooks every day in class and the teacher engagement with Canvas, and it just made for a very smooth opportunity. So we will be sharing more information, but just to have that really professional testing environment is a huge thing for us to be able to have students successful on their ACT exam. And let's make sure before I give up my time. President Townsend, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Thompson. Some great presentations, by the way, I appreciate it. Moving on, informational items, budget update, overview of the 2021-22 Yuma Union High School district internal budget. That means Ms. Cordery, you're up.
That's right. Good evening. So we are officially 2/3 of the way through our school year or our fiscal year. We are not, however, 2/3 of the way through our budget, so that's a good thing. We have spent 47% of our M&O money, so that's about $42.5 million of a $90.5 million budget. Our capital budget, we have spent 13%, which represents $2 million of a $16 million budget approximately. And for our student accounts, the beginning cash balance at the beginning of this fiscal year was $707,000. Our ending cash balance is $739,000. with 104,000 of activity running through that throughout the year. Any questions?
I don't see any. Thank you very much. You were very, very clear today.
Today.
Yeah, like mud. Okay. Item 3.2, Portrait of a Graduate. Ms. Thompson, Ms. Anderson?
Thank you, President Townsend. I would love to turn this over to Associate Superintendent Lisa Anderson.
Thank you. The Yuma Union High School District is in the beginning stages of developing an exciting new initiative called the Portrait of a Graduate. Our goal is to frame a new vision for the district that articulates the community's aspirations for all students. Both a process and a product, the portrait will help us consider the overall educational experience for all students by identifying the ideal attributes we desire them to acquire by graduation. We have with us this evening the project lead for the Portrait of a Graduate and our Director of Strategic Projects, Mr. Mike Sharp.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. President Townsend, Mrs. Thompson. Yes, we are finally talking about the Portrait of a Graduate. This has been on my plate for a while, and this is an exciting project for us. Which one are we doing here? That one? There we go. Before we get rolling into the meat of it, I'd like to thank this crew on the screen. Without them, they helped with the whole process, from the development of the protocols to development of the surveys, and then running through the data and so on. So this group, just very appreciative of the group, and also, so you know, it's just not me behind this thing. It's a whole tribe of folks behind us. Also understand that this Portrait of a Graduate is directly in line with the mission and vision of our district and our clear bottom line. The vision being where great minds grow. Our mission, we are committed to the education excellence of our students by empowering them with the means for success and by challenging them to become productive members of society. And then our clear bottom line with every student college, career, and community prepared. So what is a Portrait of a Graduate? So Mrs. Anderson kind of ran us through it a little bit, but this is the definition of it as best I could articulate it for you. The Portrait of a Graduate represents a school district stakeholders' vision, so that our stakeholders are everybody: teachers, kids, community members, parents, you name it, stakeholders that have any kind of vested interest in our district. So it represents the school district stakeholders' vision for the 21st century skills and attributes that students need to succeed in college, career, and community. So we're getting, right now, if you think about it, our success is, the student success is representative in grades. Now we're going to take a little bit of a turn, and we're going to start looking at some skills and attributes that our community think is important for our graduates also, not just academics, but in addition to. The why behind a Portrait of a Graduate, the POG, or the Portrait of a Graduate, serves as a North Star to drive the transformation of our traditional school methods. So, you know, like I was saying, we focus on grades. Now we're focusing on some skills and attributes that will help them be more productive members of our society. We're aligning district operations and pedagogy around a collective vision for student success. With this vision, our community as a whole, so it's not just Yuma Union, it's our community, has taken a strong stance on what it means for students to be college, career, and community prepared. They have a voice in what we're doing. So they have our back, so to speak. We're also reinforcing our commitment to supporting the whole child that goes beyond just test scores. So we're beyond academics now. We're defining what student success looks like, redefining what student success looks like. And it provides transparency and growth for our district. So in your packets, these things that you received, right, you'll see an item that looks like this. So I borrowed these from the Mesa School District. So we will have one of these coming soon in the summer, but this is a one-pager of a Portrait of a Graduate for Mesa. And you can see they have the essential attitudes and skills Students need to graduate ready for college, career, and community. They have listed essential attitudes and put some bullet points underneath this definition. They have also listed essential skills, which they have also listed some definitions underneath those. Now, if you want to see the meat of this, there's a little packet in there. It looks like this. All right, so if you just open up just to the first page, it says collaborator. I guess I could. So on the first page, it says collaborator. You'll notice on the top of that, it has a pretty detailed definition of what collaborator is for them, for MESA. It goes into critical concepts of what a collaborator is. They start talking about I can statements, about what the student will be able to do. What most stood out to me about MESA's Portrait of a Graduate is the rubric that they have set up below. So if you notice, they have with the learners, those are our students. So across the way, those are the progressions of becoming a collaborator. So the students and the teachers will absolutely know kind of where they are on this progression. But it doesn't stop with just the students. If you flip the page on the back, there's a progression for the learning facilitators, which are our teachers. And there's also a progression for the leaders, so the campus administration. So this is just a very detailed guide of how to help our students become better collaborators. So that's just a small example of the work that would happen. So they went through and they defined all of these essential skills in that depth. So you can see it's not just a one meeting or a two meeting type of thing. It's quite the process to finish this work. So let's get into, let's not talk about MESA anymore. Let's talk about us a little bit. In our timeline, this started back, well, let me follow my slide there. Two-year development process with an ongoing refinement. So we're in the first year. So during our first year, we have surveyed our stakeholders. We received back over actually 1,068 responses back from our survey, which we sent out in September. The last question on the survey asked if they would be willing to be a part of one of these committees to help go through and identify our attitudes and skills. 400 folks said, yeah, I'd like to be a part of those committees. So now I'm thinking, oh, great, so I'm gonna have to go rent out the convention center to get this thing done. But it's all right. So we ended up developing the teaching and learning team, developed a protocol to go through the responses that we have. We took the teaching and learning team through the teaching and learning team and the instructional coaches through the protocol to actually look at all the data and had them actually come up with some skills and these skills and attributes that they saw from the data that we have collected. And so we're going to take that information, well, we're going to take the protocol to go through all the information, all the survey results to our stakeholders and have stakeholder meetings starting in April. On April 20th, we have one, April 28th, and then May 3rd. But that's where we invite the community to come in and they go through the process. They see the data, they see, and they run right through our protocol, and then they're gonna come up with what they think are the actual skills and attributes that they think are important. So now we have district information already. Now we have 3 layers of stakeholder information. In addition to that, we're gonna go to each campus and talk to students and run them through the same protocol and get their feedback. What do they think? So they're absolutely as important as everybody else. So then once we have that information, then we develop a review protocol to kind of sum it all up. And then in the summer, that's when the fun starts. That's when we start defining, that's when we start creating our rubrics, and that's all of our teachers. And that's, well, not all of our teachers, but that's our teachers and our district staff going through defining those and working on the rubrics and so on. So it's, as you can see, it's a beast, but it's, at the end result, if you could sum this up with looking at their academic success, but then also applying this and the students and the teachers understanding what it means to be a communicator and have gone through that work, that specific intentional work in the classroom to become a better communicator, how that's going to improve our graduates when they graduate. So what I would like is you guys are invited, governing board, everybody is invited to our stakeholder meetings. We're going to be right in here in this room, Wednesday, April 20th from 5:30 to 7:30, and then if you can't make that one, on the 28th. If you can't make that one, we're going to try to do a virtual one on May 3rd. All right, so I'll be happy to take any questions at this time.
Are there any questions? Sounds like a big project.
Yeah, it's great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Good.
It is a lot of fun.
We're anxious for the end result to see what you come up with. Thank you. Moving on, item 3.3, DARA, the bus grant with check acceptance. This is Mr. Courtry, it says, but we're going to defer.
So, as it says, I'm here to present the Big Check Award from the Maricopa County Air Quality Department. And before I do read my pre-made statement here that I got, I just feel the need to say, teachers are very special people. I mean, we just can't say that enough. It just blows my mind every time I'm here with everything that's going on. So just felt the need to say that. So on to the why did I say that? Anyway, the Diesel Emission Reduction Act provides for funding to switch out old or retrofit diesel vehicles and equipment in order to reduce ozone pollutant. The funding for this grant comes to Maricopa County from the Environmental Protection Agency and by the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. This award with Yuma Union High School District will provide up to $292,332 in funds to support the state clean diesel program and benefit air quality by replacing 1 2001, 1 2005, and 4 2006 diesel school buses with 5 2021 propane buses and 1 cleaner burning diesel school bus. Matching funds of 75% will be provided by Yuma Union High School District. The program is consistent with Maricopa County's Air Quality Department's mission to provide clean air to Maricopa County residents and visitors so they can live, work, and play in a healthy environment, and obviously for Yuma County too. So when I go and I get the big check, I'd like for everybody to come around, we'll get a good photo shoot, and we'll get this taken care of.
Thank you. Board members?
Go ahead, right on up front, please.
Go forward. David, smile.
Ah! No, he went and got it, and now he's back.
Anybody else that wants to join the process would be good?
Diane has to be in it. She's got to cash the check.
I tried, it didn't work. Which way do you want it, Derek?
Just like a, that's my favorite.
I was gonna smell it, but not anymore.
All right, in 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's fantastic.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Cool.
I get the check.
Frame it. Frame it.
Okay, moving on. First read is policies, regulations, and exhibits. The following policies are presented for the governing board's information. Regulations and exhibits will be administratively added to the district policy manual and do not require governing board approval. So that's our first read on that. And there's a bunch of them. And I'll get through them here in a minute. But I'll move on. Item 4, call to the public. Any person wishing to speak may present the information at this time only. All presentations are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and a maximum of 15 minutes on each subject. Before you begin to speak, please identify yourself by clearly stating for the record your name. Comments by members of the governing board in response to any public comment will be limited to asking staff to review the matter or requesting rescheduling of the matter for further consideration at a later date. I have two, and basically what that means is we cannot respond to your comments. So, first one is Brian Martin. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Brian Martin. I moved to Yuma last year from Seattle, Washington to teach at Yuma High School. I have had 2 good formal evaluations, and this year I was promoted to teach AP Literature and AP Language and Composition, and these courses are doing very well. I love teaching, and I like Yuma High School. I hope the school board does not take the recommendation to not renew my contract. I would like to teach here next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have one more. Mr. Luna.
Good afternoon. My name is Bruce Luna. I'm here to talk about Yuma County is going to present 3 sex education curriculums to see if maybe Yuma Union wants to teach them. It's been approved at District 1. It's been denied at Crane. And there's a board or a committee that's going to get together in a couple of weeks. I welcome that y'all attend to find out what these sex educations are about. One thing that came from Yuma Daily News is the representative, one of the board members. Ultimately, like I said, they did approve it. But he said, when the time comes for the discussion, one board member, Keith Ware, raised many concerns as newly a board member in his first meeting. Wave explained that he only had a week to go through the manuals, the weekend, and there's about 300 pages in each one. His concerns primarily regarded abstinence and what deemed to be abnormal sex acts. I agree. Abstinence is discussed throughout all 3 programs, he said, but it seems to be followed up with the fact that children are going to have sex. So if you're going to have sex, do it safely. When a parent is an adult, tells the children, don't do this, but you don't do that, here's how you should do, and it's condoning the activity. He went on to state that the curriculum indicated sodomy and indoctrinating children on abnormal and unusual sex acts to be abnormal. Well, if you start looking at the law, a sodomy is not a good thing. It's like child pornography. So take some time, attend those meetings, because ultimately you're going to be the ones who are going to say yes or no. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. That's all the requests I have to speak. Is there anybody else? Okay, I don't see any. We'll move on. Item 5, consent items. Adoption of items of a routine nature and those that normally do not require deliberations on the part of the governing board. A board member may pull items which will be discussed and voted on separately. Is there a motion, or does anybody care to pull any item?
So moved.
Motion made by Ms. Mellon, seconded by Ms. Kravitz to approve the consent items. Is there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 6, action items. Consideration to accept donations. It is recommended that the governing board accept the above listed donations. I will read them. There's quite a few. Please be patient. Cibola High School, Russell and Janet Jones donated $400 to Cibola High School's drama department. To Gila Ridge High School, Miss Christine Frame donated paper, ribbon, and snacks to Gila Ridge High School's chapter of National Honor Society. The donated items will be used for the St. Patrick's Day Graham fundraiser. The estimated value of the donation is $75. Mr. Dave Slater donated a xylophone to the Gila Ridge High School band program to be used as needed. The donation of the value is $100. To Kofa High School, The King's Regiment Band Boosters donated $1,189 to Kofa High School's band winter percussion. This donation will be used to pay for a truck rental to transport equipment to 2 upcoming competitions. Kofa Royal Dancers Booster Club donated dance costumes to Kofa High School's dance department. These costumes will be made available to all grade levels in active dance classes for dance shows put on by the department. This donation has a value of $1,886.22. Mr. Eddie Carrera donated 25 baseball gloves and a field edger to the Kofa High School baseball program. Estimated value of this donation is $7,190. Alta Sierra Landscaping donated a riding lawnmower to Kofa High School's baseball program. The estimated value of this donation is $2,000. Mr. Alan Grimes donated 6 fence screens to Kofa High School for use on the tennis courts. This donation is valued at $542.37. To San Luis High School, Comité de Bienestar donated $1,861.04 to San Luis High School. This donation will be used to sponsor the Senior Award Night banquet. Pizzas and Beer Restaurant is donating 2 large pizzas to San Luis High School for their Senior Awards Night banquet. This donation is valued at $39.85. Off-Road Expo donated $500 to San Luis High School. This donation will be used to sponsor the Senior Award Night banquet. To Yuma High School, an anonymous donator donated $250 to Yuma High School's FFA program. This donation will be used to help with miscellaneous costs. The Criminal Baseball Booster Club donated 40 Nike baseball uniforms to Yuma High School's baseball team. The uniforms will be used for their baseball season and by the varsity baseball players. The donation of this has an estimated value of $1,400. To the Yuma Union High School District, 25 Starbucks gift cards were donated anonymously to Yuma Union High School District. The gift cards will be given to first-year teachers who attended the first-year teacher reception on either February 1st or February 3rd, 2022. Total value of this donation is $125. Ms. Lenada Hendrick of Gila Electronics donated $200 and ribbons to Yuma Union High School District. This donation will be used for student awards and prizes at the Yuma Union High School District Great Pottery Throwdown. That should be interesting, throwing down pottery. The total value of this donation is $300. It is recommended the governing board accept the above listed donations. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Mr. Gonzalez and seconded by Mr. Lara to accept the donations. Is there any questions or discussions?
I have a question.
Yes.
The Booster Club donations that are listed in here, are they also part of the school budget that was presented? They are not? No. Totally separate. Okay, thank you.
Booster clubs are their own entity, so they're not under. Yes.
It's a donation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, go ahead. From the entire vote? Okay. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 to 1 recusal. Consideration to approve open enrollment capacity for the 2022-23 school year. That was in your packet. It is recommended the governing board approve the open enrollment capacity as listed for the 2022-23 school year. Is there a motion?
I move that the governing board approve the open enrollment capacity as listed by the school year of 2022-23.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Kravitz and second by Mr. Lara to approve the open enrollment capacity as listed for the 2022-23 school year. Ms. Thompson, Mr. Brienza, would anybody like to add anything?
I would say that Mr. Brienza and his assistant have done the lion's share of work on this. So, Mr. Brienza, do you have anything to share?
This is an exercise we have to do every year, but with changes in state law, our open enrollment website or page on our website actually tomorrow, actually by Friday, will be updated with what's open and what's closed for the current year and for the 22-23 school year. So I just have to say my admin assistant, Adriana Medrano, has been very busy and doing a wonderful job tracking where we're at and incoming. So as you can see, I just want to point out COFA is slated to be our largest school, which is thus another reason why we're so excited about 23-24 school year when we open up Somerton High School. So, any questions regarding?
I do have a
Ms.
question
Mr. Gonzalez.
on the open enrollment. Are we ever gonna ever have the full capacity with the new boundaries, or is it gonna be any close to the capacity at Yuma?
Well, for Yuma High School, is that what you're asking? I don't believe that we have projected numbers on the actual maps over there, so I don't believe any of the projections actually have Yuma High at 2401. But all our schools, save one maybe, Gila Ridge, will, with the new boundaries that are being proposed and whatever tweaks are made for whatever recommendations made in April, you'll notice that each school is going to be different enrollment-wise, but capacity is going to stay the same. Capacity is based upon square footage of the school. So, for example, Yuma will always have 2401 for capacity, Yuma High, because it's based upon square footage.
Ms. Kravitz.
My question is, you mentioned that it would be on the website starting Friday, I think you said?
Yes.
And so is that so parents can see, yes, there's an opening at the school X, or no, there's not?
So if you go there, like you could go there today, it will have the 21-22 school year listed, and Eric Patton did a wonderful job with the graphics. So we have only 2 schools that currently have openings, San Luis and Yuma High School. So everything else will say closed, those 2 will say open. So for the 22-23 school year, based upon action by the governing board, then we'll have another graphic for the 22-23 school year, and it would say open or closed based upon where we're currently at projected for next year. If it does say closed, families can still put in an open enrollment application in case there are openings, and they're put on a wait list. I do want to say that military, their open enrollment is always granted when they do apply, but if it is closed, they are put on the wait list if they do submit an application.
And then it will, as a follow-up question, it will update as open enrollment applications have been accepted?
If there is if a campus does open up, then we would update it as open. Or if a campus closes, for example, then we would put closed on there. That's when we update it.
And when will families find out about the upcoming school year?
So on March 11th, this Friday, they'll receive an email, because we ask for an email when they submit their application, stating that they're either on the waiting list or it was accepted.
Okay.
And then there's some different dates on our website when we'll notify people again. I think once in April and once in May, and then another one maybe in August. I don't have them memorized off the top of my head, but you can go to our website. But they will be told, yes, it's been granted, or no, you're still on the waiting list. And if you're on the waiting list, we want you to enroll in your home school boundary school.
And lastly, I apologize.
Yeah.
If a family, what is the cutoff date for applying for open enrollment?
The cutoff date for applying for open enrollment is within 10 school days of the beginning of a semester. So essentially August, if school starts on August 1st and there's no weekends in between, simple math, August 11th is when you'd have to have your application in.
Thank you.
For it to be granted for next year.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.3, consideration to approve the 2022-23 Student Parent Handbook. I'm sure every one of you read every page of it. Is there a motion?
So move.
Motion has been made by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Ms. Kravitz, to approve the 2022-23 Student Handbook. Ms. Thompson, Ms. Brenza, would you anyone like to add anything?
Go ahead.
I'm being directed to answer this question. No, the handbook, this is an exercise we go through every year to see if it's any slight changes that may have to occur with the practices that we have. So some things were just stylistic. I do want to point out the cover. Eric Patton helped develop the cover, and I just want to point out that in the top right-hand corner of the cover, you'll see a little bit of copper as a foreshadowing of what's to come in 23-24. So, because it's a school being built, we put some copper in there. So,
I love the cover.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor of adopting the 2022-23 Student Parent Handbook, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item is to consideration to accept the fiscal year 21 audit. It is recommended the governing board approve the fiscal year 21 audit via roll call vote. So we have to roll call vote that one. So, Ms. Cordery, you're very eager to explain yourself.
Well, now you know the real reason you have popcorn is because we're going to go through this page by page. So the first document you have is the annual comprehensive financial report. That's the big meat of it. That's really our financials in every way you could ever think about our district. The next one that you have is the single audit reporting package. And so this is really the big one, if you will. So if you find an audit finding in here, this is like one you never want to happen again. You know, we may have it, but you don't do it 2 years in a row because you get in a lot of trouble if you do that. We have none in here. You'll be happy to know. I'll give you I'll spoil it for you. And then the other part that you have is the USFR compliance questionnaire. And so that's just where all the dirty, I'd love to say there's nothing, that it's a perfectly clean audit. I don't think any school district probably has any of those, but, we always have account code findings or some of the smaller kinds of things, maybe attendance issues, things like that. So I will say I'm pretty proud of this. It is pretty clean, actually. Not perfect, but clean. And that is, so I would be happy if you start going through this later, or you want to look at it later and have questions and call me, that's fine, or we can go through it at some time later if you have questions.
Any questions for Ms. Cordery?
No, thank you for making it understandable.
Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the 21 audit via a roll call vote.
I second that.
Motion made by Ms. Mellon, second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve the FY21 audit via a roll call vote. So we'll start with Ms. Mellon.
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Mr. Lotta. Aye. Ms. Kravitz. Aye. Mr. Townsend. Aye. Unanimous, 5-0, approved. Item 6.5, if I would press the right button. Consideration to approve the instructional time model, flexible schedule, and testing academic environment. It is recommended that the governing board approve the proposed instructional time model. It's in your packet. Is there a motion?
I move that the governing board approve the proposed instructional time model.
Motion made by Ms. Kravitz, seconded by Mr. Lotta to approve the proposed instructional time model. Ms. Thompson, Ms. Anderson, would you care to add anything?
I think we have beat that horse and done it again tonight, so I don't know that there's anything else to say.
Okay. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.6, consideration to approve the revised compensation 2021-22 compensation packet. It is recommended that the governing board approve the revised compensation packet for the 2021-22 fiscal school year. Is there a motion?
I move that we, the governing board, approve the revised compensation packet for the 2021-2022 fiscal year.
I second that.
Motion made by Ms. Mellon, second by Ms. Kravitz to approve the revised compensation packet for the 2021-22 fiscal year. Ms. Thompson, do you want to add anything?
Yes, thank you. Again, our living document of the compensation packet. Tonight we're asking for the addition of honor band conductor. This is really a neat collaboration with all of our campuses to have an honor band, and it requires, again, a very special adult to lead that. So we are asking for approval for an honor band conductor, which it would take care of all of the students elected for honor band, and we would like to have a supplementary salary schedule part in that.
Any board member have any questions or comments?
Would this begin next year?
I believe this is for this year, as we have an outside guest conductor.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item of business is call for executive session. ARS 38-431.03A. 7, discussions or consultations with designated representatives of the public body in order to consider its position and instruct its representatives regarding negotiations for the purchase, sale, or lease of real property. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So move.
Motion made by Mr. Gonzalez. I'll take Ms. Kravitz as a second to go into executive session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We will go into executive session. You can wait around till we come out, or you can leave. Thank you very much.